The Night Beat starts right now.
Just turn yourself in already. It's already been a month. How can you sleep? How can you eat? How can you be with your family and see us suffering because we know you're watching?
Heartbreaking words spoken from the family of 17-year-old Caitlin Hernandez. It's been over a month since the teen's body was found strangled in the ditch of her Northeast Side neighborhood, and her family is still seeking justice. With Caitlin's killer still on the loose, the night team's John Paul Barajas joined the family as they marched, begging for witnesses to come forward.
It's a call to action that they fear is falling on deaf ears. The family of 17-year-old Caitlin Hernandez is marching through their Northeast Side neighborhood for the second time in a month.
It ain't fair that I'm standing right here while they're with their families right now. Well, we have to do this fight for her to get justice, and they're at home relaxing.
Caitlin's aunt, Crystal Rodriguez, believes neighbors who live off of Del Oak and Ashland Drive had to have heard something March 12th, the night she was killed.
What would you say to your neighbors if they're listening to you right now?
Just come forward. Put yourself in our position if this is your daughter, your niece.
Over a month ago, Caitlin's body was found naked and strangled in this ditch. Now there's an outpouring of support with a simple message.
And we will not stop until we get what? Justice!
It's unimaginable. It's horrific what this animal did to my niece.
Rodriguez says Caitlin was about to graduate high school and had hopes of becoming a veterinarian. And her pastor adds she was just starting to embrace her faith.
Caitlin had come on and really become a part of our family, and so she had just started to help my wife with the Sunday school. She had a heart for an autistic boy that was in the church, and she was really just starting to blend in and be a blessing to us, and it was tough to lose her the way that we did.
The family says with no solid leads in Caitlin's case, they'll continue to fight to be her voice.
I love and I miss her.
Justice for Caitlin!
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And a reminder, if you have any information at all, no matter how small, about Caitlin's murder, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers. There's up to a $5,000 reward right now for any information that leads to an arrest in the case. The number to call right there on your screen, 210-224-STOP. Well, the search continues for the person who killed two men at a home near North Foster Road last night. Here's a better idea of where this happened. San Antonio police say it was around 2:30 in the morning when someone fired shots at the home on Delgado Run. According to SAPD, the victims, Marquise Green and Demore Grenage, were standing at the garage when they were killed. And investigators are trying to figure out what led up to that shooting, and they're investigating it as a capital murder case. We also have an update on a deadly shooting involving a Balcones Heights police officer and a 49-year-old woman. The woman who died is identified as Marta Prater. This happened Friday night on North Crossroads Boulevard near I-10. According to the Balcones Heights Police Department, Prater attacked officers with a homemade weapon and broke the back window of their police vehicle. The Balcones Heights police chief says Prater was tased several times before one officer shot and killed her. Right now, it's unclear what that initial call came out for.
Books have taught me compassion.
A plea to back banned books. Texas was home to the most attempts to ban or restrict books in 2022, and a local group spent the day educating and mobilizing. Today at Trinity University, the Don't Mess with Books in Texas event, symposium and panel discussion on book bans, answering the question, what does book banning do to our community? Panelists included a librarian, a teacher, a student, a parent, and an author whose book has been banned. The National Council of Jewish Women created the event, and the goal wasn't just to discuss the topic, but come up with an action plan.
There are many things that people can do. Some are things that are quite simple, like read a banned book to your grandchild, or buy a banned book and put it into one of our free libraries that are around the city.
People advocating to ban books typically say that the book in question contains graphic violence, expresses disrespect for parents or family, or is sexually explicit. Florida's controversial Stop Woke Act aimed to avoid material that provokes feelings of, quote, guilt, anguish, or other forms of psychological distress related to race or gender. Well, the UN Security Council holding emergency talks today as Israel weighs its response to the unprecedented attack by Iran. This was the first ever direct strike on Israel launched from Iranian soil. ABC's Alison Kosik explains President Biden's response in the aftermath.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with his war cabinet on Sunday, discussing Israel's possible response to Iran's unprecedented attack, but no decision was made. Retired General Benny Gantz, a member of the war cabinet, saying in a statement that Israel would act in the manner and time that is appropriate for us. The UN Security Council calling an emergency meeting on Sunday.
The Middle East is on the brink. The people of the region are confronting a real danger of a devastating, full-scale conflict. Now is the time to defuse and de-escalate. Now is the time for maximum restraint.
Iran launched more than 300 drones and missiles, including more than 100 medium-range ballistic missiles, 30 land attack cruise missiles, and more than 150 one-way attack drones. Those missiles lighting up the night sky over Jerusalem as air raid sirens blared across the country.
Iran's unprecedented attack was met with an unprecedented defense.
The U.S. had already sent additional defense assets to the region before the attack.
I think coming together in such a very, very strong way under the umbrella of the United States Central Command, together with the British, together with the French and the regional players, sent a very, very clear message to Iran that you can't get away with it.
The U.S. stresses its ironclad support for Israel and its right to defend itself, but hopes to avoid a wider conflict.
We don't seek a war with Iran. We don't seek an escalated tensions in the region.
President Biden met with the G7 leaders on Sunday. In a statement, the group saying, "We express our full solidarity and support to Israel and its people and reaffirm our commitment toward its security, and we stand ready to take further measures now and in response to further destabilizing initiatives." Alison Kosik, ABC News, New York.
All right, back here at home now. It was a busy day out at Morgan's Wonderland this morning. Project Mend and our KSAT community partners held the annual medical equipment drive, Viva Mobility. People were up bright and early taking part in the annual 5K. The event's held every year to bring in donations of used medical equipment. That includes wheelchairs, power chairs, home hospital beds, and more. Project Mend cleans it, fixes it, and gives it a second life by donating it to someone who needs it.
When you see somebody who gets a piece of medical equipment that they need, I mean, it really is the difference between them being able to move around and enjoy life and do the things that they really want to do and not.
If you have a piece of equipment you'd like to donate, you can visit projectmend.org and find a place to drop it off or schedule a date for Project Mend to pick it up. Can't believe we're already saying this. Fiesta 2024, the countdown is on. There's just 3 days left until we kick off San Antonio's biggest party of the year. Fiesta at a whole new spot this time, the Alamo Dome. It kicks off Thursday, and we will be live from the event starting at 8 o'clock, and that's only the beginning. Over the span of the 10 days, there are so many Fiesta events happening all over town. Friday, April 19th, the start of Fiesta Oyster Bake, Mia.
So excited. Monday, April 22nd is the Texas Cavaliers River Parade, and Tuesday, April 23rd kicks off Nyosa.
One of my faves.
Same.
Wednesday, April 24th is KSAT's Know My Neighborhood, and yes, this month we're focusing on downtown. Then Thursday, April 25th is the Battle of Flowers Band Festival.
And Friday, April 26th, the Battle of Flowers Parade, and Saturday, April 27th has so many things going on, starting with the King William Fair and Parade, and ending, of course, with the Fiesta Flambeau Night Parade.
You can expect KSAT to bring live coverage on all of these events, just like we usually do, and much more. And while we're mentioning the parades, don't forget to be part of our KSAT Insider parties. Scan the QR code on your screen to register to become a KSAT Insider and get the tickets to the Battle of Flowers Insider parties.
Now, if the night parade is more of your vibe, there's a QR code for that one too. And if you want to take your insider status a step further, we also have a sweepstakes that you can enter.
If you scan the QR code right now that you're seeing, you can enter our contest to win the best seats in the house brought to you by IKEA. This contest runs through April 17th at noon, and the winner will receive 6 tickets to the Battle of Flowers Parade watch party with VIP passes for private seating, and you'll also get a $50 gift card to IKEA. You'll also get to hang out with us. Mia, this is our favorite thing to do.
We love it.
We loved Flambeau last year. All right, we know that was a lot of information to take in, so if you didn't have your phone handy, you can always visit ksat.com/insider to gain access to these events and so much more. Okay, Mia, we have to talk about the weather. Fiesta forecast is a real thing. So what's it looking like right now?
It most certainly is a real thing. So by Fiesta on Thursday, still looking unseasonably warm and a bit humid. But this weekend, there is a chance that we could see a cool front push in, maybe some slightly cooler than average temperatures into early next week, and also a few rain chances that we'll need to fine tune in the days ahead. But until then, as we get ready to kickstart this work week, you likely felt the humidity out there today. That's not going anywhere as we look ahead to our Monday. So another round of some patchy fog and perhaps a little bit of drizzle will be possible first thing tomorrow with the added cloud cover. Upper 60s, so a very muggy start to the day in store. Highs in the mid 80s after that with a stray shower not ruled out into the evening. Nearing 90 at some point this week. We're going to talk about that. Plus, yes, that cool front that could move in next weekend coming up in just a bit, Courtney.
All right. Thanks, Mia. See you in a bit. All right, turning now to your money. On Friday, the Biden administration announced plans for its latest student loan debt relief. And if it goes as planned, it could eliminate billions of dollars from the total debt load nationwide for those who qualify.
We're fixing a broken system.
The Biden administration announcing Friday it plans to wipe away another $7.4 billion in student loan debt for around 277,000 borrowers nationwide.
We're trying to provide a fair shot to Americans trying to access higher education.
Student loan debt relief has been a cornerstone issue for the president since he was elected in 2020.
Early in my term, I announced a major plan to provide millions of working families with debt relief for their college student debt.
At the time, several GOP-led states sued to block his plan, an effort that the Supreme Court upheld. The initial plan would have wiped away $20,000 in debt for millions of qualified recipients.
I announced we're going to pursue alternative paths.
That brings us to this week.
My administration will propose a new rule to cancel up to $20,000 in runaway interest for any borrower that owes more now than when they started paying the loan.
Some debt holders could qualify to have all of their interest cleared under the plan.
We're going after those schools that are defrauding our borrowers.
For months, the Department of Education has been working on a new path towards their debt relief goal, using a different legal authority granted under the Higher Education Act of 1965. There's a required public comment period before the DOE can finalize any new proposals. The White House says if all goes as planned, canceling accrued interest for qualified borrowers could begin as early as this fall, right around election time. So in total, President Biden has authorized the cancellation of $153 billion in debt for over 4 million people. That's more than 9% of all outstanding federal student loan debt. All right, still ahead on the Night Beat, we are breaking down health insurance terminology in an episode of KSAT Explains, what you need to know to understand your very own coverage. And San Antonio is the first lucky stop in Texas for the Big Green Bus Tour, their mission that they're out to accomplish and how you can help when we come back. Well, the message is simple. Growing food changes lives. And today, the Big Green Bus made a stop in San Antonio as part of its mission to get everyone in America to grow food. Gardopia Gardens in Dignity Hill is the first stop in Texas for the Big Green Bus Tour. It's a community garden that supports strengthening garden programs across San Antonio schools. We stopped by today's event to talk with the founder and CEO about why being selected for the tour is just greater than the seeds and garden beds being handed out today.
When a kid pulls a carrot out of the ground, they have no clue where carrots come from. When they pull that apple off the tree, right, it's really connecting us to food and realizing food is nature.
Stephen Lucky hopes to encourage more people to grow food right here in San Antonio. In honor of Earth Month and the Big Greens Grow Together initiative, you can do something good for the environment by planting a tree, starting to compost, or changing your shopping habits, shifting from shift to thrift instead of buying new.
Want an easy-to-build compost bin? This one was made for just under $35. Remember I talked about the importance of tossing your food waste in the city green bins and how it's better for the environment?
So let's take it a step further and build our own compost bin for our garden.
Speaking of composting, if you're interested in doing a DIY compost bin at home, you can find this really great story by Sarah Acosta on KSAT.com. It's also available with KSAT Plus on your TV. If you live in the city of San Antonio, Sarah also has details on how to snag a free compost bin from the city. You can find both of these stories by searching Gardening with KSAT on KSAT.com. I saw a lot of people online, Mia, that were doing some of their spring gardening. It was a little bit of a humid day to do that, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
All things considered, yeah, we had the breeze yesterday, but what that breeze was doing was pumping in more of that Gulf moisture. So yes, the added humidity was a theme this Sunday, and that is still going to be a theme as we look ahead to the upcoming work week with a lot of other things that we need to talk about. Temperatures are going to be warming up. In fact, nearing the upper 80s and even that 90-degree mark by the middle of the week. Along with that, we have a few isolated rain chances in the forecast. Most of us missing out each day, but at least there is the potential to find a few showers to a stray storm, maybe a few slightly better rain chances into next weekend. But that is all going to depend on the exact timing of this next cool front that as of right now looks to move in Saturday and into Sunday. And yes, some slightly cooler than average temperatures could be on the backside of that boundary. So let's talk all about it, starting off with a look at those dew points. How we measure that low level moisture in the atmosphere in the 60s, which is about 5 to 10 degrees higher than where we were this time last night, which just means that yes, you are starting to notice that mugginess out there whenever you do step outside. And you can see as we take a look at our dew point trend here into the upcoming week, that is still going to be a factor. So because of that, another round of some patchy morning fog, and yes, the potential for a little bit of drizzle could greet you out the door for the Monday morning drive with the added cloud cover. Still expecting mostly cloudy skies into Monday afternoon, but watch by about 5, 6, 7, even 8 p.m. Not completely off the table. We could see a few isolated, very light showers. Most of us are going to miss out. I do want to manage expectations here. And even if you do cash into a quick shower, rainfall totals likely just a few hundredths of an inch at best. Very, very light rain possible there. Temperature-wise, look at this. It is going to be a very humid start to our Monday. Mid to upper 60s out there on the thermometer, right around 68 degrees here in San Antonio. Same out east in Gonzales, 66 in Canyon Lake, 68 over in Poteet, 66 as well for places like Rio, Medina, as well as Hondo. So we'll monitor that fog and patchy drizzle first thing tomorrow. By lunchtime, maybe a few peaks of sunshine. A forecast temperature around 75 at noon. A high temperature around 85 officially here in the Alamo City, but the farther south and west that you go, upper 80s, maybe even a few 90-degree readings already possible into tomorrow afternoon. If you think that's warm, though, just know that we are expecting those thermometers to trend upwards by a degree or two already Tuesday and especially Wednesday into Thursday, and that's also going to come with a few isolated rain chances before we monitor that next cool front working in this weekend. So briefly, here's that setup. A low pressure system off to our west is going to swing across the Central Plains by midweek. It drops a boundary into the state of Texas, but it stalls. It's not until we see a secondary push of energy on the backside of that boundary start to push the front into South Texas. Again, that's looking like this weekend. That's when we could see a few slightly better rain chances and maybe some cooler temperatures. So something to monitor for sure, especially when it comes to those Fiesta plants. So we'll talk more about it coming up in the next half hour. Plus, the Estimetal giveaways. We've got more this week. We'll tell you when the next one is coming up a little bit later on, Courtney.
You know, y'all love the Fiesta Metal giveaways, so hopefully we'll see you there. All right, we'll be right back with a preview of Instant Replay. The 2023-24 regular season is over now for the San Antonio Spurs. They wrapped up their season today with a huge win against the Detroit Pistons. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay tonight, here's Larry. I was there against the Nuggets, so I'm not saying I'm like the good luck charm, but I might have brought a little juju.
That's not a bad idea, though. Courtney, the good luck charm, beating the Nuggets and the Pistons. That's awesome. So the Spurs won 6 of their last 10 games to end the regular season, saving their best basketball for the final stretch coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
He'll get an MRI tomorrow, but get a big bump on that shoulder, so, hopefully it's just rehab.
Already without 7 players today, the Spurs lost Zach Collins 2 minutes into the second half with a right shoulder injury, and that didn't slow down the Spurs, led the Pistons by as many as 34 points as the silver and black roll Detroit basketball.
Plays about 7 yards uphill.
Oh, it's just a scary look.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The final round of the 88th Masters tournament started off with 5 golfers sitting in a good position to claim the green jacket, but in the end, world number 1 Scottie Scheffler dominated the back 9 to win at Augusta National again, and we'll show you how he did it.
I'm expecting another hard fight. I'm preparing preparing myself for a brutal 12 rounds, regardless how the fight goes. So I'm excited.
How cool is that? San Antonio's very own Mario Barrios will fight again as the co-main event with Canelo Alvarez. Barrios is facing the younger brother of a very good fighter, and Mario's WBC interim world welterweight belt will be on the line. Plus, you got the Brahmas, the Gunslingers, the Silver Boot Series. And how would you grade the Spurs the 2023-24 season? That's our poll question tonight on Instant Replay. And Courtney, you are a good luck charm.
It's really funny. Quickly, my aunt and uncle were in town, and they're Denver fans, and they got the tickets for us, thinking it was going to be easy.
Love it.
She was not happy. I was very happy. I like to throw it in her face.
Rightfully so.
Love you, Aunt Susie. Sorry. All right. Consumer Reports put Lunchables to the test, why you might rethink these quick lunch options. And premiums, co-pays, deductibles, fixed fees. KSAT explains health insurance terms. That's next. Well, we all need it, but it's safe to say not all of us understand it. Health insurance is full of confusing terms and conditions, and at the end of the day, it all depends on what's in your individual plan. But in this case, that explains we're defining some of the most common insurance terms, so at least you're covered there.
Deductible, copay, HMO, PPO, it's a lot.
Understanding coverage, it's something else.
This is Anel Trevino.
I'm the Navigator Program Director
for the Health Collaborative.
The Bexar County Health Collaborative is a nonprofit focused on helping people meet critical needs. Everything from housing to health insurance and more.
Sometimes not just the consumer is a bit confused.
Anel has even seen healthcare providers get it wrong.
The first insurance term we're defining, premium. It's how much you have to pay for insurance coverage. It's not a payment for any doctor's visits, procedures, or medications.
The premium is what they pay for the actual plan. The copay is what they're paying for the service or the medications.
A copay is a fixed amount your insurance plan says you must pay for a service your plan covers. It's not the total cost, it's just your portion. Your insurance pays the rest.
Well, now wait a minute. Didn't we just say that a copay divides up the cost between you and your insurance provider? Yes, we did. But copay is different. It's a fixed fee attached to usually routine services that your insurance company expects you to need. And typically, your copay does not count towards your deductible.
So, if you have a deductible of $1,000 and you pay a $20 copay to go see your doctor for a case of the flu, you'll still need to pay $1,000 to meet that deductible. Some expenses will likely count toward your deductible. It might be like x-rays for a sprained ankle, for example. Those things that aren't routine.
Some coverage plans have what's called coinsurance. It's kind of like a copay, but instead of being a fixed amount for services, it's a percentage of the total cost.
Every time you see a primary care physician, you're probably going to pay, let's say, $20. That's a set amount. But for imaging, for labs, for other types of care, you're going to see a coinsurance, and that's usually a percentage of the total cost.
You'll also hear the term out of pocket when it comes to insurance. That's anything you have to pay out of your own pocket. Copay and deductibles, two out-of-pocket expenses.
There's also something called an out-of-pocket maximum. It's the most you will have to pay of your own money, usually per year, for medical expenses before your insurance plan then covers the full cost.
So once they hit the maximum out of pocket, then they're done paying so long as they pay their monthly premium.
Your monthly premium does not count toward your out-of-pocket max. In fact, what does count usually all depends on your plan. Sometimes your copay is included in the max, sometimes it's not. Sometimes your deductible might be the same as the out-of-pocket max, but sometimes it's not.
Usually what can go into a maximum is going to be your medications, your visits to primary care physicians, to specialists, emergency visits.
Now let's talk insurance plan types. First up, a PPO. That stands for Preferred Provider Organization. Choosing this kind of plan means you don't need a referral from your primary care doctor to see a specialist. You'll usually pay less if you see a doctor who's in network and more if you see a physician who's out of network.
A provider who's in network is someone who your insurance company is contracted to work with. If they're out of network, they don't have that contract.
Another type of insurance plan is an HMO, or a health maintenance organization. If you have this kind of plan, only services from in-network providers are covered, except in an emergency. Plus this.
Before you go see a specialist, you're going to need to visit with your primary, and you're going to need a referral.
There's also an EPO. That stands for Exclusive Provider Organization. It's similar to a PPO, but in this type of plan, services are covered by your insurance if they're provided by in-network doctors only, except in an emergency.
Usually your HMOs are a little bit lower in price per month, but it's important to keep in mind that if you're going to see a specialist, then you know you're going to have to visit with that doctor. You're going to have that expense. So sometimes it's best for the consumer to consider the PPO or the EPO so that they're not spending that extra $20 visiting with the primary to get the referral.
To make medical bills a little easier to handle, you can plan ahead with what's called a health savings account. If your insurance plan offers one, you set money aside to put into your HSA to pay for certain health care costs, which could include your copay and deductible costs. An HSA is usually only available if you have a high deductible plan. And if you don't use that money within your coverage year, you can roll it over into the next year.
That's not the case with an FSA, or flexible spending account. FSAs are opened through an employer if they offer it, and it's use it or lose it, which means you have to use the money you put into an FSA within the year of your coverage plan, or it's gone. Both of these types of accounts usually allow you to set aside money before taxes.
Here are two terms that get sometimes confusing: Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid is a joint state and federal insurance plan that's run by individual states.
Medicaid, a lot of people just associate that with children.
In Texas, people can get Medicaid coverage if they make below a certain income amount per year. For example, a family of 4 must make less than $59,400 a year to qualify. Medicaid is for pregnant women, people caring for a child, people with a disability, or people 65 and older.
Medicare, on the other hand, is all about age.
Medicare is usually going to be for people who are 65 and above.
Some people under 65 with disabilities also qualify for Medicare, which is a federally run insurance plan. In the end, that's what everything with insurance depends on.
Your plan, what your plan covers or doesn't.
If you're unsure, just give us a call and we'll walk with you step by step and help you. Anybody can get help.
That was Myra Arthur and Steve Spriester. If you love our KSAT Explains pieces, you can catch up right now on all of our past episodes. Just grab your phone and scan the QR code on your screen. It'll direct you to the KSAT Explains section of KSAT.com, where you can find every topic we've covered, and there are a lot of them. You can also watch these episodes and more using KSAT Plus, available any way you stream.
Very helpful information. All right, let's go outside with live cam tonight. The humidity in place. Temperatures are still in the low 70s, so not dropping off as efficiently as what we saw to end last week. Let's take a look at the almanac data for today. Because of that moisture that was pumping in this morning, 65 degrees was our low temperature, so a bit warmer than what we've seen the past several mornings, and now warmer than the average of 58. 86 the high, also warmer than average into the day. The records 95 and 33 set back in 1961 and 1980 respectively. It was even warmer, dare I say hotter, the farther south and west that you went, closer to the Rio Grande, 95 and Carrizo Springs, 86 in Rock Springs, 83 out east in Gonzales. We are going to warm things up into the upcoming week. Mid-80s tomorrow, upper 80s by Tuesday, approaching that 90-degree mark Wednesday and Thursday. But yes, the potential for a cool front into next weekend. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that setup coming up in just a few, Courtney.
Thank you, Mia. All right, school starts back up tomorrow, and before you pack your kids' lunch and maybe even your own, we have the results of Consumer Reports testing on Lunchables. It's next on the Night Beat. All right, take a look. Do you have any of these in your house? I feel transported back to my childhood somehow. Lunchables have been around for years as a quick and easy lunch or snack, and they're popular with kids. But a new Consumer Reports investigation may have you thinking twice if you're a parent. As 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains, tests turned up high levels of sodium and even lead.
In the rush to get out the door, Lunchables. Prepackaged lunch kits are convenient, and many kids love them. But listen to this.
Lunchables and similar kinds of lunch kits are simply not healthy for kids.
We even have them in the office lunchroom. This one's turkey and cheese. Just what's inside? Let's pop it open. Here we have cheddar cheese, processed turkey, and a row of crackers.
Consumer Reports took a closer look, testing 12 store-bought lunch and snack kits and finding concerning levels of lead, cadmium, or both in all of them.
Even in small amounts, the effects of these heavy metals are cumulative and they can contribute to developmental problems in children.
Kraft Heinz, the parent company of Lunchables, Oscar Mayer, and P3, says all their foods meet strict safety standards, and lead and cadmium occur naturally in the environment and may be present in low levels. Smithfield Foods, which makes Armour lunch makers, says it adheres to strict programs and policies that promote food safety and quality. Target, which makes Good and Gather, did not respond. Now the sodium. Levels range from 460 to 740 milligrams, nearly a quarter to half of a child's daily recommended limit. And versions found in some school lunch programs, those had even more sodium.
Kids with high sodium intakes are about 40% more likely to develop hypertension than those with low sodium diets.
Smithfield Foods said sodium is a key ingredient and helps meet customer demands for quality, authenticity, flavor, and convenience. Kraft Heinz and Maple Leaf Foods said they're working to reduce sodium. So what's a busy parent to do? Look over that school lunch menu to find nutritious things your kids like, or brown bag it with healthy foods from home. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
It's a struggle. Okay, have any TikTokers in your house? Stick around. We have Taylor Swift updates, and it's coming next on the Night Beat. Okay, so we know it was windy yesterday. It wasn't like that today. Just we had some breezes, though.
We did, and it's going to get a little breezy as we head into our Monday as well. So I do want to talk about that setup, and of course, winds out of the southeast. That's what's allowing more of the humidity to pump in, and what will continue to pump in over the next several days. Let's take a look at peak wind gusts across the region from today. If you caught the Night Beat last night, you'll notice that these numbers are not nearly as high as what we saw yesterday. But yeah, we still had a few wind gusts, generally upwards of about 20 to 25 miles per hour across the region. As of right now, yes, a little bit of a breeze in some areas, especially the farther south and east that you go, but those winds have calmed just a little bit. I do want to bring this up because tomorrow, I think we will start to see a little bit more of that breeze pick back up again. Upwards of about 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts certainly possible, maybe even closer to 30 miles per hour as we head into Monday night. So just something to be mindful of there. But until then, your weather headlines, the other things we're monitoring over the next several days, an unseasonably warm week nearing 90 in some spots as early as Tuesday afternoon closer to San Antonio. Humid with a few isolated chances for rain. Not going to be for everybody each and every day, unfortunately, but we will be monitoring that potential cool front to move in next weekend. So I want to talk, as promised, a little bit more about that setup. So right now, high pressure in control is anchored just off to our south, but nearing the Four Corners region is this low pressure system. Watch what happens as we advance this on in time. By Tuesday, that low pressure system is moving across the Central Plains. It drops a weak front into the state of Texas. Ahead of that boundary, we've got a 20% potential for a few very isolated isolated light showers early Tuesday morning, but then that boundary stalls before it can completely push through our neck of the woods. We'll keep another 20% chance Wednesday night and into early Thursday morning as we see a secondary push of energy behind that initial boundary move into Texas. That's what's then going to help that cool front move into south central Texas next weekend. Maybe some cooler than average temperatures behind that as we head into early next week. So that's going to be something to check back in on, along with these isolated chances for rain. We did bump it up to a 30% potential Saturday and into Sunday, but that is going to be highly dependent on the exact timing of that weak front. So please continue to stick with us as we fine tune those details here over the next several days. We will definitely take any rain that we can get, though. This is the latest drought monitor update that was released on Thursday. We still have extreme drought in place across parts of the hill country. This does not include, though, some of the rainfall totals that we saw last week. Tuesday night, we had the rain and thunderstorm activity move through. Here in San Antonio, near an inch, actually just a little bit over that at the airport, near 1.3. Seguin over 2 inches. Canyon Lake just under half of an inch. So yes, we will see what we can find, but with Fiesta activities coming up, it's going to definitely be bear watching. We'll monitor that for you. Until then, dew point of 67 right now, temperature of 73. Again, those dew points will continue to stay elevated over the next several days leading into our Monday and Tuesday. High temperatures nearing 90 by Thursday. So yes, Fiesta is going to be warm and humid. Speaking of Fiesta, Adam Caskey has another thermometer Thursday medal giveaway tomorrow. Very excited at Tia's Taco Hut, I-35 Palo Alto Road. We also have more Weather Authority giveaways this week. So stay tuned on air and of course on our social media for that update.
Get that medal.
Yes.
These ones are cool this year.
They are exciting.
Thank you, Mia. All right, a look at the weekend box office and an instant replay preview after the break.
I won't be fighting for him. I'm fighting for my people.
Dune Part 2 fell to 5th place, earning $4.3 million for a domestic total of $272 million. At number 4, Kung Fu Panda 4 made $5.5 million. It's at $174 million domestic. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire stayed in 3rd, scaring up $5.8 million.
Hey, what do you tell him?
Godzilla Kong: The New Empire lost the top spot, but $15.5 million gave the MonsterVerse movie 2nd place and $158 million domestic.
Why didn't I just tell him not to shoot them?
They're probably gonna kill them anyway.
How do you know?
Civil War exceeded expectations and topped the box office with $25.7 million, the biggest debut ever for its distributor, A24. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, the San Antonio Brahmas found themselves in another close and thrilling football game today. Plus, the San Antonio Spurs ended their regular season on a 2-game win streak. For more of what's on Instant Replay, let's head to Larry Ramirez.
They certainly were playing their best basketball at the end of the season. If they play like this next season, watch out, NBA. Without 6 of its top 8 scorers to start the game today, guys like Mamu got a lot of playing time coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
I know the team might make some changes, but if Mama's not on the team, I'm going to be heartbroken. I won't lie. A lot of us are. Yeah.
Fan fave Sandro Mamukelashvili was a scoring machine today with 18 points to help the Spurs rout the Detroit Pistons. Pop gave him mad playing time this month, and Mamu did not let him down. Spurs game-winning highlights and post-game are coming up.
So the True Line, no measurement necessary. The True Line says first down, and on first down, Butler waltzing in.
Well, the dream of the San Antonio Brahmas going undefeated this season has come to an end today at the hands of the Battlehawks. Still, the Brahmas have a winning record, and they have proven to be a competitive team. We've also got SAFC, the Rangers, Astros, and NASCAR, and I'm being told, what's that? Mary Rominger is going to sing tonight? We got it coming up in IR right after the night beat. You gotta hear this.
You should have just seen her face. Now she has to.
Now she has
I might
to.
just stay in the studio for this just to give some encouraging facial expressions. Okay, you got to stick around for that. We'll be right back.